All right. Thank you for joining us. Again, we are Eric and Katrina Slayball from Texas, East Texas. We're excited to be doing this with y'all. We have a topic. Today is April 20th. Can you believe it? It's already almost gone. April is almost gone. So our topic is going to be about kind of as a continuation of what we heard in our legacy group that we're a part of. I see that I forgot to turn the chat on. Let me make that happen so you guys can chat here. How do I do that?
Enable Q&A.
Enable Q&A. Okay. Oh, the chat. We need to make sure that everybody can. Christina, if you can give me some hints on how to do that. I don't remember how to do that anymore. Oh, here we go. Right. I think I got it now. So let me know if you can't chat. That should be able to now. All right. So we talked a little bit about, Carlos brought it some information about Ritz-Carlton mindset, the values of what they have and how they approach their business. And so we want to discuss a little bit, and hopefully y'all have some questions for us. How does that apply practically to our life? And Ritz-Carlton mindset is all about honoring. I should have taken better notes, but honoring and making the customer, the clients, feel special, heard, anticipating their needs. And so our topic was, how does that apply to us? Like, how can we bring that to our families? What are some practical ways that we can honor and make people feel special and help them, want to be friends, connect with them, help them want to be friends with them, that kind of thing in business and in life, where we're at now. So, yeah, what do you think?
Well, I was, when we were talking about how they honor, something that really stood out to me is honoring my like kids and my husband and outgiving them. So like taking note, like obviously I'm with them every day, but taking special note. I know that, my oldest son, he loves quality time. So, or little things that he loves, and honor that and really press into that. And outgive him, like
how what's a good example of?
So actually this week I've been really pressing into that and like doing little things. Like I tell him to come help me, cook, and he's only 2 years old, so it's a little challenging, but like he can dump the water in the kettle if I have it measured out already, and just little things like that where he can feel important and feel like he's working with me and communicating with me, and I'm like, telling him, oh, good job, I'm so proud of you, and just building that connection with honor and and also his, like, what he delights in, his love language, or so yeah, that's what it looks like with my oldest son. Now, like even just with my husband, like things like honoring him, going the extra mile. Something that came up this week was, I thought about it, was he's been very, very busy, and I love quality time, and it's really hard when he has to work late and put in the extra hours and grind, but I can like choose to honor him and and say, you know, and I don't even always say it, but even in my mind, I think, you know, I'm grateful that he's working hard for us and that he's doing this. And then that helps my mindset. So I'm not back here taking a victim mindset and getting all out of sorts and creating that space in our home. So there's some of the things that were really standing out to me on how to honor, go the extra mile and honor.
Here's a question. What are some ways to create anticipation and fulfill the needs of your clients or employees or friends? That's a really good question. Do you want to say anything on that?
To anticipate the fate.
How do you, I'm taking it, what are some ways to create anticipation? I would say, I think she means, how do we anticipate and feel the needs, fulfill the needs? I would answer that I really connected with what Carlos was saying about being able to be intuitive. And really, I think it comes down to knowing the people and friends that are the people that surround us. And like for employees, for my company, I take that as I don't even call them employees. We call ourselves team members. And even some of those things where we create that environment of we're all in this together, and we ask, we communicate. I think communication is a big thing. I have forms where I have them fill out at the first of the year. I was like, okay, let's do this. You know what? And then they filled out a questionnaire of all their favorite things. And just checking in with them and getting to know them and learning about what they're good at and what their dreams are, asking those questions. And then the way we do it in our business is we want to know what your dreams are, and then we help them achieve it through working for us, you know, generate cash flow through working for us. It helps us, it grows our business, it brings their best to the table. They're part of what we're doing and they own it. It's like our team, that's what I'm learning. And I've not always been the best at it, but I'm learning is to give them ownership and help them feel like they're part of something. And that's how we help them feel special and included and needed. And then as far as, you know, anticipating, that's just a matter of communication. And I definitely am the first to say I need improvement in that. But just asking questions and getting to really, really know people on a personal level. Like even my wife and I, like thinking about what's her favorite stuff. What is her likes and dislikes, and honoring that. So that's how I would answer that.
Yeah, I agree. I think, which I don't have any clients or employees, but like with friendships and stuff, like it's a lot to do with communication.
Yeah.
It's
just asking
questions. And one thing that, yeah, Carlos even mentioned in our talk previously is about, you know, statements versus questions. And instead of assuming and making statements about stuff with our friends,
that was really
ask
good.
questions.
Ask good questions.
And then that helps them to feel valued and, you know, honored. And yeah.
And this is good for every place that we're surrounding people that we do business with, family, friends, just asking questions instead of statements. That was really good. I just really like that. Like just when I'm tempted to be frustrated with my wife or my kids or people that I work with, it's like asking questions instead of statements. That's huge. So
Yeah. I
there was
agree with
another
that.
question. What are some good ways to make other people feel valued? And I think that's a good question. That goes along with the question about anticipating and fulfilling. Um, really, I really like the thought of being intuitive and just thinking ahead, like thinking outside the box. I think it's a skill that creative people probably are good at naturally. Other people might have to work at it a little bit more, but just thinking outside. Okay, Carlos gave the example of the Ritz Carlton experience where a client brought their vehicle in, was going to stay there, and then they had a meeting later on. And so, without even asking, Ritz Carlton, they would have valet parking, and they would get their vehicle and take care of it. Well, they just didn't go just park the vehicle. They went to the gas station, they topped off the fuel, they washed the car, it was fresh to the car wash, and brought it back and parked it. And then they said to the client that, hey, while you're at it, just so you know, we took care of your car, we filled it, we topped it off with gas, and just those little ways where they're not expecting it, but they need it. And so I think when we're aware of it and we're looking for it, we will find those opportunities where, whether that's in business or family or, just anticipating the needs. And I think for me, something I can work on is when I come in and, or after a long day and I'm tired and I don't want to do anything else but just sit and relax a little bit. And then I come out to the kitchen and my wife is tired as well. And and anticipating that she also needs a break and being willing to help her take care of the kids or um, clean up the living room or things like that I can do to kind of anticipate that.
Yeah.
So always going above and beyond no matter what situation you're in. That's right.
Yeah. Something when you were talking about, and I thought about it with friends as well, as like always be looking for opportunities to serve or like surprise them with, something extra. And, it might just be a cup of coffee or maybe it's make a meal or, and I'm just thinking of stuff like practical
on a
friendship level
Yeah.
that can be, it can be a very special and honoring. Yeah. And make you feel important and well and thought of.
Yeah. One other thing I'm just thinking about is conflict resolution. That's something that, as a culture, conservative Anabaptist culture, which is what a lot of us have come from, we're not especially good at conflict resolution. And I think that is actually one of the keys to develop trust and connection is that. And that's, I think that's even in business. I know that usually how business people tend to, they're great to work with and if we do a good job for them, they're happy. But it's when we do a bad job for them, or we don't perform to their expectations, or we don't communicate, or we drop the ball somehow, how we handle those things is really where people tell us that, does it, feedback, and just from what I know is that people will be loyal if we handle that well, and that goes true for in all of business, any business. If you're able to, or outside of business, even in family relationships, family dynamics, community dynamics, how we handle when the things get rough, that's when we that's when loyalty and trust is actually built. And that's when we can really shine. That's when it's when it really makes a difference about how we handle stuff, or how we ask questions, you know. That's when it gets really practical. So, yep. Does anybody, do you have anything else to say to that?
With conflict,
Yeah.
resolute like conflict. Yeah, no, I think that's a good one. And I think communication is just a big thing, like when it comes to all that stuff, even especially with like family and even between, you know, husband and wife and stuff, is communication. But it goes with business too.
And if we don't know what our that even goes into expectation, mentioned expectations. How do we manage expectations? Well, you get there by asking questions and learning to look for and learn what the expectations are.
Mm-hmm.
And we understand the expectations by asking and communicating.
That's something that I'm personally working on, even in our relationship, is telling him my expectations. Like, well, I was kind of thinking like, maybe we could do this. What do you think? Or, you know, instead of like inwardly processing and having my expectations, and then, you know, the day goes by or the week goes by and, you know, that none of that's met. So definitely communication's a big key in that.
Yeah.
And like with all that too is just even like popping in and establishing or relearning things about a person.
That was the other point, is where people change. Right. Don't just assume.
Maybe how I was when I was dating, I'm a little different now as a mom, or, you know, vice versa. We change. And that can be even for like a team with whatever business or whatever, just, you know, pop in every once in a while and again, relearn some of those or reestablish some of those. But.
So question, how do you encourage celebration within the team or your home? You have anything on that?
Well, I mean, I'm not in a business, but at home, it's celebrating.
I think you're better at it than I am.
Celebrating. I love celebration because I guess I'm very much love to party. But I don't know, just little things. I love cooking, so, you know, I'll celebrate with a good meal. A lot of times that's my go-to a lot for us. It's like, oh, make a good supper, you know, pull out, maybe we have some steaks in the freezer that I've been saving for something special, or stuff like that. With my son, we're working at potty training him. So right now it's just a lot of celebrating his wins. If he does, you know, go and things are going, instead of like dwelling on the negatives, and when he misses, I celebrate. We do and we do, he loves fist bumps or high fives. And so yeah, that's celebrating his win in a little area. I don't know. Today Eric made a business transaction, and he went out to eat, and I said, well, there you go. You're celebrating, you know, a new business thing. So that to me is the little things.
Yeah, I think, and it's like Carlos was saying, just the smallest little things, like I know for him, he would buy a can of energy drink, and he would ask the team in the morning meeting, how are they, who was the rock star yesterday? And so they would vote, and the rock star got the drink, the energy drink. And so that doesn't work for us because we're all remote. So it is a challenge for me, actually, to celebrate and to reach, like, create milestones that we can all reach together. I have done like bonuses, and so monetary would be probably the biggest way we celebrate. But and then we have some holiday events as well. So that's kind of, I know the concept, and it's still a work in progress for me. So did we
Is Carlos helping? I guess
I'm
we'll
not sure.
keep talking and find out. Something else that I thought about is even just little moments of your day. Like I find out I actually celebrate a lot with myself. Like, so I worked hard. Say like today I did all processed a bunch of strawberries and made some jam, and
you should go rest.
And so like I'm tired. I need to. So I was like, I'll probably afterwards, I'll probably like just take a moment to lay down, prop my feet up, whatever. And I'm like, take some time to be on social media, because to me, social media is fun. I love people. I love connections, and that's a little celebration for me. Is to just have some time alone and scroll Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, just little things. It doesn't have to be a lot, or you don't have to spend a lot of money to celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
Or
speaking of celebrating myself, I didn't tell you this, but my motorcycle's going up to be fixed in Dallas on Monday, and I got to take it over to my friend's house tonight. So we can trailer it up there on Monday. So I guess that for me, sometimes it's fun things like going on a motorcycle and investing money into having it. Costs, quite a bit of money to have it and get it licensed and insured and fixed up and maintained and all the stuff. So that's something that I haven't even told you about. We kind of planned that this went just before we came, and
Very good.
didn't have time to. But yeah, just some of those things that for me personally, just like being okay with spending money on having fun, like doing fun stuff. That's not my strong point, because I just tend to keep going. But anyhow, any other questions? Let me see here. Christina, do you have anything you want to add here? So you had some comments here. Let me see. I don't even know how to
What do we have?
Bring you on here. We still have a few minutes left. Maybe I can if I can figure out how to bring you on. Let's see.
What, invite?
Raise hand. Follow us. I don't know. I haven't done this too often, so I'm not sure if I can. But Christina, if you're still on here, yeah, just checking to see if you have anything. If not, it's fine.
There's anybody listening, if they have any questions or something that we said that.
Oh, here we go. Here I can do this. So there you go, Tina, if you have something to say.
Okay, I think I unmuted. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So good. Something that I was thinking about that on communication is how everybody has a different style of communication. And I think it's so important, so valuable to learn all the skills of communication. And something that I'm learning is that, like for me, I tend to be, for example, like I had someone this week that I know very well, and I tend to see a problem, and I am very intuitive, and I want to like tell them what the problem is and what they're doing wrong.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily ask.
Right. And so I tend to be like very in their face and just like, this is what you're doing wrong. Like, and the thing that I'm learning is I'm probably right, but that's not the best way to communicate. And a lot of times, like, I'm thinking about this is that, so I can be right about something. I can have the feeling that something is, this person just, I mean, he just made a horrible mistake, and, they're really struggling with it and all the stuff. But instead of like telling them what they did wrong, actually learning how to sit down and with them and listen to them. Because a lot of times people just want someone to listen to them and then ask questions, like instead of making statements about what they did wrong.
Let them find it for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something that I'm learning, is how to listen to people, even when I already know what, I know already what happened, but they have to discover that for themselves.
Yeah.
Yes, that's so good.
And it was interesting because in this situation, I was very like upset about it in a way. Like I felt like I knew what happened. And if I talked to I was telling Jabel about it, and he was just like, but you can't tell this person that. Like he was very like, at the same time I
think we lost. Is that us?
I'm not sure.
Are we frozen? Or
Yeah, I think so.
It was a learning experience for me. It was something that I'm really learning how to listen. And and then yesterday I had a conversation with this person, and turns out, everything she was telling me just confirmed what I already knew, but it's a skill to like just listen and let them like discover things for themselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
That's good.
that's even what I'm learning with my team on a very practical level with my team is tell them what to do, and then allow them to do it and figure it out.
Right.
Yeah, sure. I might have some questions. I might help them move through it. But if they own it and run with it, then they become, and then just trusting that they'll get it done. That's, if it doesn't get done, if the customer's not happy, then guess what? I guess we'll go deal with some conflict resolution.
Right. The other thing that I'm learning is how do you like, so after the fact, after a person just like unloads all their stuff and just like, okay, well, obviously you have to use wisdom in like returning, like in the conversation, but how do you then, because for me it's like, I see, I don't want to give advice without them asking for it. But at the same time, I don't want to just leave a person just sitting in their, like, in their mess, in their soup, and just like, oh, we'll just pray about it, and we'll just hope it gets better.
All you need is Jesus.
Basically. But I want to provide them with practical tools and things that I know will actually help them without making them feel like I'm trying to fix them.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely a skill that yeah, it's good. It's definitely a skill to learn. Like we don't. I think for me, it's not my job to come in and fix everybody. It's not my job to be their savior. And I think in situations like that, it's like, okay, are you asking? Do you want help? And if not, then if they just want to blow off steam, and then maybe that's what they need was to have a trash can. And just be careful you don't eat the trash.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and then they'll figure it out. Like I think we can drop seeds. I think our job can definitely include dropping seeds, but it's not our job to make it grow.
Right. Yeah, it's good. I think I know it's 30 minutes, so
Yeah.
I'm learning about that. I like the question, do you want help? Do you want to change? Because like, even in this situation, this person has the same cycles over and over and over. And she just keeps repeating the same thing. And it's a little frustrating because, well, she knows it, and but she doesn't know how to change it. And so I was able to give her some tools and some stuff like that, but I realized later is like I want to be able to communicate in a way that doesn't make someone feel like I'm just trying to fix them. If if they don't want to be fixed, then yeah. So
Well,
do you want help? That's a good question to ask.
Yeah. I actually was thinking about a situation very similar. And I know that I had with a person already, and I know something I kind of already is asked them. So do you want me to like just listen to you, or or do you want some advice, or some want me to share some tips or some things that might
I think it also depends on what type of relationship you have with them. Like, for example, one of the people that works for us is in need of connection DNA. And so in that situation, I have used our relationship as an employer to be like, okay, how can we, she is the type of person that she really wants to make money, but she can't focus. And so we're paying her, because of the situation. She's working for it remotely. And so long story short, we want to help her situation. And so we're in those situations, I'll be like, okay, so if it was me, here's what I do. But then I always make it clear that this is not me trying to run your life. I'm not in control of your life. I don't want to control your life. It's just, this is some things that have helped me in this situation.
Right.
And you can kind of communicate the things if you have that level of relationship where they are able to hear you. And then, so yeah, I would say that it can vary from person to person, whether, how you respond to that.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
But if it's frustrating to you, so ask yourself, maybe, are you attached to the outcome? And I agree, it can be like, it can be frustrating when they go through the same old cycles and the same old things over and over again with the same results. And then they come to you and want to have their trash offloaded again.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know. That's a, I don't think there's a one size fits all. I think there's a good place for intuition and learning what God says about the situation. Maybe
Right.
maybe if you connect to their heart, you can actually speak into their life without needing to, fix them or anything, but you can actually speak into their life, and maybe it's a key that just fixes something and something clicks, and now it changes for them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
So I saw that Wayne had raised his hand. I don't know if that, Wayne, if you still want to say something, let me know in the comments and I'll bring you on. If not, are you done, Tina?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
All right. I will go back to here. All right. All right. Well, it's a little past our time, so thank you all for joining us. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you all for joining us. We are through with our time. If you have anything more, let us know in the comments. Other than that, we appreciate each one of you. Y'all have a fantastic day. So
Yep.
we'll give it a few here. If you want to say something, raise your hand. Let us know. You have anything more to
Okay.
say?
I don't think so. I think we're good. Looks
All
like
right.
they're-
Thank you all. We'll
Take
see you
care.
next time.